Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So some Social Security beneficiaries can lose up to $111,000 in benefits over their lifetime, according to one news piece. So we're going to be going over otherwise how exactly you can actually increase your benefits by that amount and possibly more. Plus, in a recent poll, Nikki Haley is actually tied up with Donald Trump in the state of New Hampshire with those elections coming up next week on January 23rd. But does she actually stand a chance of taking down Trump in that primary or just overall? We'll be going over that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stock or $9,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account, deposit at least 1 penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you some free stocks worth up to $9,000 and possibly more. And again, if you do not want to invest at this point in time and you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is just sell those stocks for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story today from The Hill, and that is a new poll where Nikki Haley is actually now tied up with the former president and Donald Trump in the state of New Hampshire. But does she actually stand a chance of winning? So according to The Hill, GOP rivals former President Trump and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley are tied in New Hampshire, new polling shows, as the primary race heads into the Granite State. The survey from the American Research Group, released on Tuesday, puts Trump and Haley at 40% each among the state's likely Republican primary voters. So obviously, Haley, it's great news for Haley there, where she was, she's been behind Trump in most of the polls that have been released in both Iowa and New Hampshire. And New Hampshire is a state for her where she absolutely has to win, because if Trump wins New Hampshire, we know that Trump has already won Iowa, but if he goes on to win New Hampshire, which is probably the state that Haley stands the biggest chance of winning, just considering their voter breakdown, pretty much no chance for anyone other than Trump to be the Republican nominee if Trump wins. But we can look at these other polls, done by other companies in the state of New Hampshire, and just all in all, Trump has a pretty massive lead, 13.3 points on average. His biggest lead is the one by the Boston Globe and Emerson, where he's up by 16 points. Granted, in some of these polls, Christie's getting some points. So if Haley took some of Chris Christie's voters, she might stand a little bit better of a chance. But then again, Vivek Ramaswamy recently dropped out, and we can only assume that Ramaswamy voters are probably going to switch over to Trump, because those two have the ideals that more closely align with each other. So with that said, I really don't see a chance for Haley to win in the state of New Hampshire. And again, if she does not win the state of New Hampshire and Trump does win, well, I think that pretty much does it for the Republican caucuses. And once again, we can pretty much safely assume, unless something very bad happens to Trump, that Trump is going to be the Republican nominee to once again face off versus Joe Biden. Now, in our main story of today's video, of course, that involves Social Security and a lot of beneficiaries losing over $100,000 in benefits because of making a few different errors in when they're applying. And there's so many rules that involve Social Security, and unfortunately, the Social Security Administration does not do the best job of educating Americans on when the best time to file is, and all the different rules that they have that could cause Americans to lose out on thousands of dollars in benefits, hundreds every single month. And we're going to be going over some of the rules in this article where, once again, according to Newsweek, Americans lose more than $100,000 in Social Security. So small mistakes while filing for Social Security routinely lead to Americans losing $100,000 or more. According to Forbes, 96% of Americans lose an average of $111,000 in their Social Security income due to errors made while filing for benefits. For instance, while most people believe that delaying benefits is always the best way to get the most amount of money, benefits only climb by 8% every year when delayed. And for some people, they'll end up losing plenty of cash during the years they're still alive based on how this affects taxes and other benefits. They also go on to say that many retirees never go to SSA.gov and estimate their benefits at all before taking the leap and filing for their payments. They say, quote, I recommend taking a look at least once per year, but some folks plunge right into retirement without ever having looked at this document. So if you go to the site, it'll kind of break down how much you can make depending on when you retire, if it's the early retirement age of 62, if it's the full retirement age at 66 or 67, or if you wait all the way until 70, it'll break down pretty much how much you can expect to make at each age. And they note here that a lot of people just go into retirement without really any clue of how much they're going to make. And when they start receiving their benefits, they're actually shocked by perhaps how low of a payment they're actually receiving. And perhaps if they waited until, let's say, like 66, 67, or even 70, they would be receiving a lot more in benefits. They go on to say that beyond that, many seniors end up filing too soon or neglecting to understand how spousal benefits work. Spousal benefits, for one, mean you can earn 50% of your spouse's benefit in place of receiving your own Social Security benefit. If, say, one spouse stayed at home to raise the children, there could be a huge discrepancy between the partner's earnings and subsequent Social Security benefits. So this rule is meant to help stay-at-home parents during old age. So that's something definitely to consider as well. And then finally, also having 35 years of work history. So they note here also in the article that, a lot of people retire with only having, let's say, like 30 years of work history, but by working maybe 5 more years, even if it's just a low-paying, low-stress job, could certainly bump up their income, because otherwise they have 5 years of income that's at $0. But even if they can make that, say, like $15,000, $20,000 in a low-stress job, that could certainly bump up their income as well. So that's something to consider also. Then they go on to say that each year beyond your full retirement age, your benefit will increase by 8%, but this option only makes the most sense if you're in good health, experts say. They say, quote, if you waited until age 70 to claim, the benefit could be $29,760 per year. In this case, claiming at age 67 would result in $115,200 less in total benefits compared to claiming at age 70. They say that you could make the point that claiming earlier than age 70 will result in losing potential Social Security income, but making that choice can depend on many circumstances, and everyone's decision should be based on their personal financial situation and needs. So pretty much you're going to have to sit down and figure out how much money you're going to need monthly during your retirement years, and you're going to have to look at your benefits and perhaps your other retirement savings and figure out whether or not that's enough or whether or not you should delay your benefits. Now, to wrap up this video, we're going to be going over a quick bill in the state of California that was actually likely to pass, where they were going to ban tackle football. I know this is a little bit off topic, but I wanted to bring this to the table. I just thought it was pretty interesting. So basically, they thought it was dangerous, that there was going to lead to, more brain damage, stuff like that. So lawmakers took action in the state of California. They were going to ban tackle football. This was a bill that was likely to pass. And a lot of parents were kind of fed up with that. They were thinking like, it's my child. If my child wants to play tackle football and I'm fine with taking that risk, who are our lawmakers and government to keep them from doing something that they love? And so because of this, presumably the governor over there in Newsom has already come out and said that if the bill passes and comes to his desk, he will veto it. So again, some interesting news. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. Do you think that perhaps lawmakers should be able to ban certain sports from being played due to potential risk to kids? Should parents be the ones who make that decision rather than the government? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.